simple, dude.
Hi, I'm host Eric. Welcome to Talking with Famous People. How are you this evening? I'm here with the new Carlos. We replaced the old Carlos. The old Carlos, we had enough of him. So we've asked new Carlos. He looks very similar to the old Carlos, but he's a different human being. Happens to have the same name. We found him. He lived near the old Carlos. And so here he is. New Carlos, hi.
Hi.
Um, so you must have an entirely different set of interests and hobbies than old Carlos, probably, huh?
Not just different mindset, different.
What's the mindset change?
The old me was like more like no goals. I just want to work. And like,
And what's your goal now?
well, it's not really a goal. It's just more like now I have something to look forward to, like something to follow.
It's important to have things to look forward to.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe among the most important things of all.
Like, not just goal wise, but I mean like I was really really weak mentally. Like if someone would tell me if someone would try to offend me, I would get so offended. Like it would like I would take it like really really like bad. Now it's like I don't really care what they say, you know.
What do you attribute this abrupt change?
A really bad breakup.
Are you broke up with your woman or what?
Yeah, my daughter's mom.
When did that happen?
A few months ago, but it's been going on for a while. It's been like.
It's been persisting.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, I also feel as though I've been somewhat changed for the better by my recent divorce, actually. So, what do you think it is about the breakup that causes you to rethink things in a preferable way?
It didn't just change me mentally; it changed me physically too. Because before, when me and my baby mama, when we used to live together, like we were together for at least 5 years. No, for 5 years, and she lived with me for 2 years. And in those 2 years, I literally had no friends. Because before that, before my daughter was born, I was in high school, obviously. I was in sophomore year, but I got really bad into drugs, like hard drugs. And I ended up cheating on my baby's mom with another woman, and she found out. And ever since then, I was like, I don't need friends. It's just me and my family. So I literally just stopped talking to everyone. I stopped talking to all my friends, Abraham, everyone. I was gone for 2 years. No one knew, no one knew where Carlos was for 2 years. The only way they would find out how Carlos is doing was by my baby mama. And
so you sacrificed. You thought you were doing the appropriate thing.
Yeah,
you had. I mean, because it's true. You had done
pretty bad things.
Done something wrong to her.
Yeah.
And then in that circumstance, the wronged party has a lot more leverage to make demands upon you, right? And obviously, you are a lot more willing to be cooperative because you feel guilty because you did something wrong.
Yeah.
But, that's also, you're subject to the lack of perspective of youth, which is to say, we think when we're younger that we're equipped to make good long-term decisions, but we're usually not. Anyway, that's not going to be healthy no matter what, right? Where you're in a relationship where one party is saying to you, "Oh well, you can't go hang out with your friends." I mean, was she quite controlling?
She didn't say anything like that. It was me that wanted to just stop. So what I ended up buying, what I ended up doing was just buying a PlayStation 4 when it barely had come out. So I did nothing but play video games. Just get out of work, go to school, get out of work, and just do nothing, play video games and eat. Like, they got to a point where I got to 250 pounds.
250
I was pretty
pounds.
big.
Is that, how much is that more than you weigh now?
I'm 150 now.
Oh.
I lost at least like 100 pounds in a month.
Well,
And it wasn't really because of exercise. It was mostly because like depression. I wouldn't eat.
but Carlos, do you realize with less weight on you, if a famine hits, you're in trouble? Have you considered that possibility?
No.
There could be a massive food shortage.
But
And then you have less stored fat on which to survive until the food supply
that's
returns.
probably not gonna happen. in my
Probably
life.
not, but it could.
It could, but I wasn't really thinking about that when I was.
You weren't
not
thinking
eating,
about that when you were not eating because you were depressed? You didn't
Well,
consider that?
No, I wasn't. Well, it was that not eating because of depression. Like I went really bad into depression.
What do you eat eggs?
Yeah.
What do you like to eat in general? What kind of food?
Anything?
Do you eat a lot of, you eat meat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my theory is if you're feeling sad, then there are two things you need to do. You eat very fatty meat and very sugary
Well, I'm not
desserts.
sad now. I'm not sad now, but when I was like
I-
depressed and
This
sad,
isn't
I was,
advice
like,
for you, Carlos. It's advice for the world, okay? And this advice is good advice. When sad, you should eat fatty meat and sugary desserts. And smoke a lot of cigarettes.
You must be sad all the time, dude.
Well, I didn't say, just because you should do that when you are sad doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it when you're not sad.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you lost a bunch of weight, broke up with your lady, and now you're hanging out with host Eric on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Life's good. You've really stepped up in life. You've exchanged your family
No,
for host Eric.
there's-
Congratulations.
Let him talk about his goals, his ambitions.
I want to hear about them. Let me hear.
Like I said before, all that breakup happened. I was literally in no life, which you call it nothing but just play video games, no friends. You know, I only had one friend for 2 years, and it was online. He's from Minnesota. That was the only person I ever talked to for 2 whole years. So when
He was a chipmunk.
Who?
Your friend from Minnesota.
His name was the Silent Sniper.
his name was A.E. Silent Sniper.
Was he silent?
No, he put a silencer on his sniper.
I see. Okay, continue.
And
So you.
so when she moved out, I had no one to talk to, because for like I said, for 2 years it was just me and my friend Sniper. And when he wasn't online, it was just me and my baby mama and my daughter. So when she left, and when he was online, I had no one to talk to. I would just stay in my room, lock myself in there, and just not even play video games. Like I just didn't want to do anything. I would just sit in my room and just think. I would just drown myself in my own thoughts, and it would just drive me crazy.
So she left, huh?
Yeah,
And what was the reasoning for that?
to just too much fighting, and we didn't really break up. She said she wanted a break, so I gave it to her. But that break ended up her finding another man and just leaving him like that.
Well, Carlos, I know it didn't feel like it at the time, and certainly probably doesn't still feel like it won't for a while, but the reality is you should be glad to be done with that woman. Because while
No, I think about it many ways. I'm glad that it happened now than 20 years in the future, where like I had put more time and like more money or whatever in our relationship or our family. Then, because now we're still young, you know. I'm happy that this happened now, and I realized the type of woman she was, and find out when we were married, 2 kids down the road, you know, maybe a house or something. So
Right.
It's like, but if that wouldn't have happened, I probably would be fatter, still had no friends, I wouldn't be making this video, I wouldn't have goals like I do now, I wouldn't have the car I have now, I wouldn't be getting paid as much as I am now.
well, and the thing additionally to remember,
I would be fat with you.
Carlos, is that this this little chunk of your life will pass by quickly, and you've got several more lives ahead of you
We
still.
broke up in August, and it's been 7 months, and it's like this past month, which is what, February. This has probably been like my smoothest, calmest month. Because January I was still pretty upset. I did something pretty stupid.
Yeah, I heard about it.
I did something pretty stupid.
Yeah, that was dumb. But don't even stress about that, dude. Hey, we all do stupid shit. The thing to remember is this. When you do stupid shit more than once, then it starts to cause problems. When you do stupid shit more than twice, then it starts to cause problems. When you do stupid shit more than 3 times, then you need to fucking check your ass. Right? You need to really check yourself. And I'm somebody who believes in lots of slack for myself, right? If I do the same stupid thing 3 times, then I need to look in the mirror and do some serious soul searching or something. But I always give myself at least a couple of freebies. You know, you should too, I'm saying. Remember, Carlos, rule number 1 around here, there's nothing wrong with you. That's rule number 1. And there's not. And you seems to me like you're coming out of the time period and beginning to reflect more on the potentialities that not being in that relationship affords, and less on the loss associated with losing that relationship.
Well, I think about it, and I asked myself, why was I so hurt from that relationship if we were just fighting and fighting and fighting? Because when we were in the relationship and when she would live with me, there would be times that I would want her to move out and like not be together anymore, because we would get so, like that mad at each other, and it's like, why would I think that then? And now I think like I should have just been nicer to her or whatever. And I think like, I don't really think it was love or anything. I think it was just like when she got pregnant at the age of 15, and I was 15 as well. I felt like we needed to be together for our kid, and it wasn't really like, it wasn't love anymore. It was just like we had to be together for our baby.
I mean, here's the thing. It's unavoidable that you're going to miss some stuff about your relationship, right? I miss stuff about my relationship. These animals, they seek stop. And, you know, just today it happened again. It hadn't happened in a while, but it happened again today, where I'm driving home from someplace, or I'm driving in the car, and I don't even really put it all the way into words before I catch myself, but I have this thought of like, I slip back into an old mindset, which the old mindset would be, I'm driving home, I'd be thinking, just have a general feeling of, oh, I wonder if Candace is home, what's she going to talk to me about? You know, just the domestic stability that I experienced for better part of a decade or so. And it imprints upon you deep habits that are associated with a specific other person. Those unavoidably are hard to get used to not having anymore.
Yeah, and this one was really hard because, I mean, I met this girl when I was 12 years old, and she was 12 years old too, no, 13. And she was pretty much my first girlfriend, first kiss, pretty much my first everything. And it turns out she's the mother of my daughter. So it was like, a lot of people would tell me like, you know, it's just a girl, you get over it quick, but
You won't ever get over that entirely.
you can't. Like, I can't say I'm over it. I can't say I'm like, oh, you know, screw her, because in the back of my mind, there's always gonna be that, what if, you know. But
Well,
like I said, I've become stronger mentally, because back then, if I would have thought about it back then, I would have cried or something. I would have just like been all sad, and like now I just think about it, it's like, fuck it, you know, that's life. And it's either I have 2 options: I could cry about it, or I could just make the best out of it. That's how I see it.
yeah. Well, I think it's important to process it into narratives, process it into little stories you tell yourself about what it means, right? So, to the extent that I would, if I were in a couple situation at the moment, would deal with it would be, I think to myself, okay, well, this thing is enabled, this thing is enabled, this thing is enabled. If I were to be in that relationship now, what would I have to give up? When you think of it like that, if I had to go back to that relationship right now, what would I have to give up? And when I think of it like that, it's easy for me to think to myself, I'm glad I'm not in that relationship anymore.
Yeah, that's how I see it now too. Like, 'cause I see friends how they are when with their girls. Like when we go out or something, and like, oh, let me tell my girl that I'm here, or like, let me call my girl that I'm gonna go out. It's like that doesn't bother me. Like, or that I don't have to do that because I'm not in a relationship or anything. But I guess I was just so used to being in a relationship that not having another person to just say anything I wanted to. That's probably what, and not just that, but it probably didn't hurt me that she left. Well, it did, but I mean, it wasn't that. It was mostly like I wasn't happy with how things ended. Like I can't look at her and she can't look at me without like arguing or without like reminding what we did to each other. Like I wish we just like have ended up in like a good thought and
It's no matter how carefully you do it, it's not possible. My ex-wife and I did that divorce as carefully as you could possibly do it, and there's still resentment. It's unavoidable because you don't dislodge something that has that much, time invested into it, that much stability, without experiencing some significant consequences in terms of your own identity. So I'm glad to hear that you are feeling like you're more on the other side of that thing. I know they have a duration. Those experiences have a distinct duration from when they, when they're barely tolerable in terms of the pain to when there's no pain left at all. And it's not indefinite. Also, at some point, you'll end up getting another chick.
Right. Well, that's something else. Like the new Carlos that had this, because the old Carlos didn't have this. Like, say a girl would have complimented me or something,
Mm-hmm.
I would have gotten all like all happy, like dang, she told me something nice. And now it's just like, not a compliment, but like I mean, I would fall for a girl quick. Like if we would just start talking, I'd be like, damn, I think I like her. Whatever.
Carlos had all the girlfriends in middle school.
I had the girl with the biggest booty in middle school. And I had the girl with the
biggest personality.
yeah, but
The biggest torso booty.
yeah. And
Well, interesting. Carlos, I don't doubt that you're quite successful with the women. I'm sure that you'll do well. Or if you haven't been already, I don't know. Anyway, let's stop here since the dogs are going a little nuts. That's a good thing. Lacey, will you chill? Will you chill out, please? Compton, you better stop bargaining. Stop. I'm not. Hey, Lacey. Compton.
Compton won't stop barking.
Thanks for watching Talking with Famous People. Have a pleasant evening. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. And thanks, Carlos, for sharing with us your very interesting story.